Nah. Nah.
Does your asshole itch?
No.
Get your ass up.
Okay.
Welcome to the I Regret Nothing podcast.
I Regret Nothing podcast.
Sweet.
With Mike J and Pedro.
Hey guys, what about me?
I regret nothing. I regret nothing.
Hey, dickheads, you forgot about me, Matt Baguette.
We regret nothing.
I regret everything. Everything I've ever done. Hey. People said they can't hear. I don't know. Probably.
Can't hear anything.
Well, shit.
Check, check, check. There we go. I'm working now.
Someone said they can't hear Pedro.
No, Pedro, talk, Pedro. So what happened was, I don't know, but I just had to change some settings within OBS. Somehow it changed my default mic in there, and here we are. So let's start this again. Hey guys. Welcome to the 81st edition of the I Regret Nothing podcast. This is our new host, Arthur Collins from Comfy Cozy Gaming Magazine. He's a friend and a fan, and I've known him for quite a while. He just wanted to come in and help us out in the absence of Matt Baguette and Commander Karl, who I don't even know if I want to call him a host of this podcast because he's never here.
Never, ever, ever.
I think maybe he's just busy fighting people on Twitter.
But aren't we all?
Yes, but, little commitments, big commitments. I don't know. It was July 4th yesterday, so it's possible he just lit a firework up his ass and got hurt. I don't know. He lives in Iowa. They do weird shit there.
Yeah, all the time.
Matt says he's going to be home in 30 minutes. He's watching the podcast now. But, by the time he's home, I can't have him come in here and fuck up our video feed. It'll just fuck everything up. So, fuck yourself, Matt. No, this is for us. This is for me, Arthur, and Pedro. This is our hour, okay? We're going to talk
This is our house.
We're going to talk about things that matter, which is video game news, and things that don't matter, which is running with scissors news.
Very true.
Right now, the summer sale is going on Steam. Obviously, all of you are out there spending money on games you're never going to play. So, my advice, pick up 15 copies of Postal 2 and give them to your enemies and also your friends and your family. It's on sale for $1. It always is during every sale. It's probably the best deal on Steam. Then you can buy Postal 4, which according to some is the worst deal on Steam. I don't know. I think Postal 3 is the worst deal on Steam. Did I not? Hold on.
I like 4. I'll be honest.
No, thank you. We agree. It's not a bad game. I'm just playing into the troll, the Russian troll, which is a whole subset of Postal fans, and they hate everything we do now. We're woke.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're woke because we don't have terrorists in Postal 4.
Let's add a singular terrorist, and maybe then the game will stop being woke.
Yeah.
Okay. But hold on. If we say all these things, they will say that we hate them and that we hate the modding communities. We hate everything they stand for. We don't hate anybody here, okay? Just understand that, okay? We like our fans. Just if you guys, talk shit about our new stuff, okay, it's fine as long as you like the old
here's the
stuff.
thing. We talk shit about ourselves. We talk shit about each other. And then we talk shit about everybody. So
We do.
Don't get your Russian panties in a twist if I make fun of you after you have shit talked us, because I don't know, that's just like punching back in a boxing match. It's not a big deal. It's fair. It's
Pretty
fun.
much.
And I talk shit about myself just as much. So calm down. That's all I have to say. Settle down.
Yeah.
Settle down. It's really not a big deal. Did I put Postal 3 on sale in the summer sale?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just don't like pay attention to what I do anymore on these things, and I just
Yeah, every single game with the Postal name on it, even the Zachary pinball stuff, it's all on sale on Steam Summer Sale. So
I'm trying to figure out how, because like I'm kind of looking at our sale stuff right now, and I don't even see it in my list of things.
I don't
That's
know.
Fucking man, I don't know. I don't want to get angry on this.
Somebody's
podcast.
asking about the co-op update for Postal 4. We're still working on it. Okay, we just don't have any news right now at the moment.
It looks like my access to Postal 3 has been removed. Okay. Not a big deal, but I just noticed it. So anybody that has any problems with Postal 3, don't hit me up. I can't control it. Haven't been able to for a long time. Only got access recently. Don't have access anymore. So, oh well.
I remember you mentioning that to me a while back too.
Yeah, no love lost. No love lost. Yeah, we're gonna get asked this like 50 more times during this podcast, but the co-op update is coming when it's done. I know that's not what people want to hear.
All right, Blizzard.
Yeah,
Tone it
well,
down.
would you rather me say it's coming on July 15th, and then on July 15th I'll say August 1st, and then on August 1st I'll say August 15th? And it's like people want a date, but nobody really hits dates anymore. So why give a date? It's just not a good idea. Then you end up backtracking and kissing
Some
ass.
people just want us to push it as it is, and I can guarantee you guys, like, as fun as it is right now, and I can guarantee it's fun, it's not polished enough. Not even for an early beta, which we will do this summer, or at least we're aiming to do this summer, okay? But trust us when we say when it's done, it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be fun. Just let us cook for a little bit.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the summer sale. I don't know how that topic blew up into what it did, but make sure you get on Steam and get some copies of our games, especially if you haven't gotten them lately. I believe Brain Damage is also for sale on Switch right now.
Such a good game.
It really is. If you haven't picked it up, please do. In other Brain Damage news, we are in process of getting physical copies made. So if you've been waiting for a physical copy, hopefully by October. I know I said I don't like giving dates, but that is actually the date that this company that we're working with, which is not Limited Run Games, for those that want to know, that hate on Limited Run, and I get why, but that's not who's doing Postal Brain Damage. And just for the record, we're not using Limited Run because of some Twitter fight that they got into. Their schedule was too overloaded. So we're using a different company, I believe called Super Rare Games. Very different name. But they're working on it right now, and we're going to have Switch and PS4 and PS5 copies of it, hopefully by Q4. So like I said, if you've been waiting for Brain Damage Physical, that's coming. Trading cards. Brain Damage now has trading cards on Steam. So if that's something you do, if you like to collect those things, get on Steam now and do whatever it is you do to collect those. I believe it's how long you play the game. Is that right?
Yeah, and then you get a chance for
Look
booster
at me
packs.
knowing how you do things in games.
And you can collect backgrounds, emoticons, badges for your profile. So all the good stuff, except for animated backgrounds. We still haven't done those. I'm not sure if we will do them or not, but
What is this
it
guy?
would be cool.
Hold on. What is this guy asking about a background typo error?
There's a bunch of people asking about that, I've noticed.
What is it? It says it's been.
I
7
guess in
months.
Brain Damaged, it said. Brain Damage has a typo in the credits that says background instead of background.
Ah, yeah, I know
Oh,
what that is.
I
That's
mean-
been already reported to Hyper Strange, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I doubt they're going to release an update to fix a typo ever.
I mean, if
So-
they're gonna release an update, it has to be
And
with
if
more
and
stuff
if a
than just that.
typo in the credits is bothering you, I think you need to see somebody. If it was in like the main title screen of the game and you had to stare at it, I could see maybe being a little bothered by it if you're OCD. But in the credits, no. I mean, I'm sure they may have fixed it in their. I mean, maybe they've fixed it, but I don't think they're putting out an update anytime soon. So
It's unplayable.
literally unplayable. Only game I'm ever buying from Limited Run is Alan Wake 2 Collector's Edition. I don't disagree that I love Alan Wake 2, as you can see by this poster here and my little coffee thing up there. But that $200 thing didn't appeal to me very much. I didn't really want the light switcher. That didn't look interesting to me.
Yeah, it's fucking expensive, especially with the shipping.
Yeah, I'll get a
It
physical
doesn't make
copy
sense.
of it. That I will do. I don't need it, but yeah, it is in my fucking personal opinion, Alan Wake 2 is one of the best games I ever played.
Hey, there's another guy from Portugal in chat.
All 2 of you are here.
All 2 of us.
All 2 Portuguese people. I want to know where all the Brazilian people are that are going to fight with you over your fucking language.
Oh well.
Oh well.
We
Postal
already-
Jam. Why don't you give us a little Postal Jam update, Pedro?
Yeah, I mean, Postal Jam has been going for a single month, and we already have 112 participants, and that includes groups and individuals. So, holy shit, we are very overwhelmed with the response that this second edition has had so far, and we're really hoping that all of those people who are joining, they make really good games. We are excited to see them. It's gonna be a good second edition for sure. We are very excited about that, and we'll just keep doing this every year. Like every single year, we'll continue doing these Postal Jams
Yeah.
and showcase in our website. There's a little corner for Postal Jams, and we'll showcase your games there.
Well, I would want someone to make something big enough and worthwhile enough for us to put out. That's what I want.
Well, for that you need more than 2 months. These people.
Look, man.
By the way,
that GBA game was pretty cool, but I don't think we're
it
putting
fucking
out
was,
a
yeah.
GBA game. So
we should try to
Good.
contact those guys to make a physical GBA. I'm not sure if people will buy the physical, but it will be cool
that would
to
be very niche-y. That's like as niche-y as
Very
the
niche, but-
Dreamcast physical of Postal 1. But
yeah.
it did happen.
It will be cool.
It did happen. Do we have any other Postal updates? Somebody asked about the brain damaged vinyls. They were never out of stock. I know it says that on our website. I just never got our copies, so they were never in stock. But I should be getting them hopefully in the next month or so. So if you are like dying to get a brain damaged vinyl, hopefully soon. Sidebar, shipping vinyls sucks. So the profit on them is so little, and it's cool. I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. Like, we don't sell everything for profit. Like, these physical PlayStation and Switch games that we're selling make basically no profit. We do it for the love, but shipping these is really easy. Shipping vinyls really fucking sucks. So I ask you when you order your vinyl to like throw some stickers into the order so that at least the value of the package to us is, a little bit higher, because it sucks. There is so much packing that goes into shipping one single vinyl. I can't even fathom people that run businesses shipping vinyls. Can't hear you, Pedro.
Fuck. Okay, yeah, I was saying it's not fun, and there it just needs to be very protected and all that stuff. Like we
Yeah.
only started now shipping bidets, and we're always learning.
Shipping
You
the
are
bidets
always
isn't
learning.
that big of a pain in the ass. They don't need, they're already in
Yeah.
a nice box, and I have a box that's about that right size. I just have to put a little bubble wrap in it. God, here comes the.
I need one of those bidets, honestly.
Come on down, son. Clean your ass. In case there's people that are listening that don't know and haven't heard me ranting about this for years on end. If you don't have a bidet, you should get one. And if you want to get one and maybe support Running with Scissors a little bit, you can buy one of my personal bidets, Mike J's bidets. You can get them at the Running with Scissors store, MikeJ'sBidets.com, RunningWithScissors.com, PostalGames.com, PostalSwag.com. Hop on in, buy yourself a bidet. We don't have a lot left, actually, so when this stock gets closer to running out, I think we're going to get a new model. So change the box art up a little bit so each one is different. So people that want to collect my bidets.
Is it gonna be called like something like the big ass caboose?
I don't know.
Super
I
bonus
didn't come
pack.
up with the caboose sluice. That was Andy. So when I give him the task of the new art, I'm going to let him go run wild with that. He did a really good job. And my wife does not love her quote on the back because she didn't actually say it, but it is really funny. So, yeah.
My vote is for the Poo Skidoo.
The Poo Skidoo. I will write that down.
I mean, it's not. It has a ring to it,
Yeah.
It has a ring to it. Not gonna lie.
Of course, we have questions in here about when are we going to bring Postal 2 to consoles. Probably not is the answer. Unfortunately, Postal 2 is on a version of Unreal that's never, ever, 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 ever going to work on modern consoles. So we would need to have the game completely remade, which isn't unforeseeable in all the world, but it's just not going to happen right now. And holy fuck, somebody asked if the brain damage vinyls will be in stock again. Yes, they're going to be in stock at some point in the near future. So keep an eye on it. Sorry, I pulled them down off the store because I don't want people seeing that they're out of stock. They're not out of stock.
Hold on. Somebody said that Postal 4 is so realistic.
Is
What?
it not?
I mean, with the next update, it will be even more unrealistic. But I'm not gonna say.
Are
what
they saying
is.
it's got that realism vibe, like it's made to look real?
I
like
so
that. You know what's funny? I like when people say that. They're like, "Oh man, your game looks so real," and then like the next person below is like, "Postal 4 looks like a PS2 game."
I remember when PS2 games looked real. Honestly.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
And PS1 games.
right. But the funny thing is that like even Postal 2. What's funny is Postal 2 has not aged as badly as visually. I mean, I'm forgetting the game itself. Visually, it hasn't aged as badly as some other games from 2003. Like even GTA 3 looks like crap. That doesn't mean it's not a good game. It just looks like crap, I think. Postal 2 doesn't look amazing.
It's definitely on par with. I watch a lot of like indie horror and all of that. It's definitely on par with 2024 indie horror level stuff.
Yep. And if you think Postal 2 looks like a PS2 game, you should play Postal Brain Damage because that intentionally looks like a PS2 game. So actually, PS1 game, more like a 90s boomer shooter. But that's what we love.
PS1 game with
That's
benefits.
what we love. Postal 4 does not look real. It just has pseudo modern graphics with pretty bad lighting.
Especially when we teased something and we didn't explain what it is. You'll have to find out with the next update. But with the next update, if shit was already, over the top for you during the apocalypse, oh boy, you're in for a treat.
But Postal 4 is woke and real.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Fake Jack Studio, welcome.
Somebody asked if we are any new progress on a new IP. No. And that may not even be what we're doing. What we're actually doing in full is finishing Postal 4.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. So sorry if someone the other day wrote me and they were like, Postal 5? Question mark? And I was like, no, man, we're not working on it. It's not designed.
Because
It's
of
not
your
happening.
license
Yada,
plate,
yada, yada.
Mike.
I know I fucked that up. It would be very easy for me to get the A as a 4 instead of the S as a 5, and then I wouldn't have made it look like we were teasing Postal 5 by showing my license plate.
I immediately was like, fuck, okay. I kind of saw it coming, but I was like, you know what? I'll
It
give people the
didn't
benefit of the doubt, okay?
Even occur to me when I was picking the custom license plate that it was.
You have to be ready for everything, Mike.
I'm
Everything.
not. I'm not a CrossFitter
4D
anymore.
chess, Mike. 4D chess.
People
Okay,
will
fine.
point at your car in the streets and
Fine.
say,
Okay,
Postal 5
Postal
confirmed.
5, we have thought about Postal 5. There's been thoughts, but they've never been put to paper. So my license plate is confirming that Running with Scissors has thought about Postal 5. And by thinking about it, I mean I own the domain. Doesn't mean anything. There's no lore. Postal doesn't have lore.
Push
Stop
for
asking.
battle pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody asked me if I'm Brazilian. I'm from Portugal, but hey,
You're Brazilian, basically.
I'm Brazilian now.
You're what we like to call island Brazilian.
Okay. No, I'm a peninsula Brazilian.
Right, but like same thing, you know?
Okay.
Spain could fall off of Europe. It could disconnect with a major earthquake.
Who knows?
And
I
then
mean,
you're
we've seen
basically-
weirder shits, you know?
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You never know.
That's all I'm saying.
Just never know.
Well, our first topic is actually Postal related, so we might as well move on to the first topic. I guess a Postal 1 beta was leaked, which is fucking hilarious because we didn't have it.
We didn't. Hell, we've...
Then where did it even come from?
I don't know.
Some people just save everything. And even in the late 90s or early 2000s, like, these practices were not, you know, there was no clouds. Nothing
we
like that.
used to have like server backups, but our server backups would crash and we would lose everything. Like,
yeah,
pretty much everything. We lost almost everything. Even we don't even have the Postal 2 demo that we took to GDC.
I hope, like, if people want to leak shit, please leak that, because we fucking look. Some companies send you cease and desist letters. Some companies sue you to fucking hell. No, we want to see that. We want to see the community dissect that old shit, because
yeah,
I mean, we like that stuff, and we don't have it. The first thing I did when I joined Run with Seas was ask Mike right there, hey, is it true that we really don't have any beta stuff of Postal 2? Nothing.
No.
We wished. We wished.
No. Yeah, it's fucked up. But this isn't like totally uncommon. Like, one of the major problems with Postal 2 is the physics engine. Like, it's what's causing most of the crashes that remain. We can't fix it because not only do we not have the source code for the math engine, Epic doesn't have it. And the company went out of business years ago, and like nobody has the source code for this physics engine. So like we can't fix it. That's actually another layer of why Postal 2 will never be on consoles is stability. Like, even if we had somebody spend months making some sort of wrapper that got the game running on a PS5, it wouldn't be stable enough. And it's because of the physics. So
it has to be fully remade.
Yeah.
And
the problem
Kingdom Hearts it.
Sorry, go ahead, Arthur.
Oh, got a Kingdom Hearts it at that point.
Right. And here's the thing. If it's remade, that doesn't mean it won't be good, but it won't feel like the same game. It just won't. Like, it is very hard to capture the feeling of Postal 2 in Unreal 4. Like, the essence of it would be there, but it will not be the same.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it wouldn't be good, but we would just definitely get fucking dunked on nonstop about that. Also, and I've said this before, the PC version would be left alone, but if it were to be on PlayStation or Switch, maybe not Switch, but we'll say console in general, there'd be a lot of stuff that has to get removed from the game.
People need to realize something.
I've already had this discussion with Sony. Like, things would have to be changed.
People need to realize something very important. It's not up to us developers to change the landscape of things, because if we try to do that, our games just get banned, okay?
They get banned anyway.
Yeah, it has to
So-
be up to the the consumers to change the landscape of the gaming industry, to make it more accessible, to make it less censored, to make it better. We can't do shit. Like, we talk with Sony and they tell us you have to censor your game.
Yeah, and it's
It
not like
fucking sucks.
and it's not like it's the core gameplay that's a problem, but the first mission of the game would have to be different.
Yeah.
That's it. Like the get milk mission would be different. And it's not because you're getting milk. It's because you're getting milk from an Arab store and the owner is a Apu sounding racially stereotyped character, and he has a bunch of terrorist wives upstairs.
Yeah.
Now,
And we as developers, we have no problem with that.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. That's the game. The game was made.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that would happen again. It clearly didn't happen again in Postal 4 because we're woke.
We won't.
But the game is a capsule of time of when it came out, right? And remaking it, you'd like to keep it the same. Like, we wouldn't be making Postal 2 and being like, let's make it more racist. We would just be putting what's in there in the new game. But that doesn't work for some bigger corporations. I mean, it's out on Steam, which is cool. I'm not sure Nintendo would have a problem with it anymore because they pretty much let anything on their system, but Sony would have a problem with it. And
These
Xbox
days.
clearly would have a problem with it because they won't let anything we make onto their systems. So,
Oh yeah, the game that people call woke is banned on Xbox.
Yeah.
Go figure.
right.
Okay.
And people are saying that's a real interpretation of an Indian store clerk. Yeah, you're right, but it's like an Indian Bojangles, okay? It's a white guy doing an Apu voice, and that just wouldn't work. Now, I actually have had recordings done to replace it if we ever had a remake. That would be better, but like the whole idea just doesn't work. So I'm not saying this can't be done and wouldn't be done. Like I said earlier, it's been discussed. And it might happen someday. And quite frankly, I don't think it would be the end of the world if the game was censored a little bit on PlayStation, because that's just the way it would have to be. But we would sure get fucking dunked on by people because it is the first mission of the game. It's not like something on Thursday. If something on Thursday was changed, okay. And there would be other things that would have to change, like the church mission and the terrorists blowing up the priests. Like, that stuff just wouldn't happen in a remake. And so whatever, missions later on in the game, like, you're like, why'd this change? It's like, well, because we don't have control. But when the first mission of the game gets changed, that's the problem, So I don't know.
Honestly, I'm waiting for baby Postal, toddler edition.
Yeah.
So you're just a baby Postal dude
Yeah.
doing a week as a baby.
Right. And it's actually way more vulgar, but it's all poop jokes.
Oh no, baby Postal dude definitely says fuck. 100%.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
But does he sound like the baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah. Well, it'll still be Postal Guy's voice.
Ah, Rick Hunter as a baby.
Yeah.
we
Do we
just need to get
pitch shift it up so it's like, well, I'm Rick Hunter, I'm a baby.
Yes, but then treat that as a joke, of course. And then at that point, he just goes, I don't know what that was.
Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll make sure that's in our list of things we'll consider.
I mean,
And
we
at
just
that
need
point,
to get
you don't have to have any convenience stores, no milk. Well, definitely milk. Guys still have milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get milk, but you don't get it from the store. You get it from a tit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
you
we
don't
need to
want
get Mudahar.
Simulac. You want that sweet, sweet mother's milk.
Oh yeah. And we need
100%.
to get Mudahar as a store clerk. And
Yeah,
he just
would
points
dig
at
it.
a cow and he says, okay, go get your milk.
Go get it,
and
yeah.
just squeeze it out.
I actually can't fathom why we just got questions in the chat if Postal 4 is coming to Xbox.
We just said we got banned.
And the comment directly before that is, damn, Postal 4 is banned on Xbox. No, Postal 4 is not banned on Xbox. Postal is banned on Xbox. It's everything.
Running
They
with
banned
Caesars.
Brain Damaged. They said no to Redux. They said no to Postal 4. And they aren't giving us a real reason. They're just saying, no, it doesn't fit our library. which is a
Running
nice
with
way of
Caesars
saying,
is banned.
yeah, we don't know.
on
They never
Xbox.
told us. They never. It's there's like an internal memo there that says no Postal games. So sorry, Xbox people, we want it more than you do. It's money on the table, and it's probably not that much money on the table though. I've heard plenty of times now that Xbox sales are not great because of Game Pass. But we would definitely do it if we could, just so the games are there.
Postal 2 on Game Pass when?
So- all right, no more
Fuck.
Postal news. We're done talking about Postal.
Yeah,
Dead
fuck Postal.
Rising Deluxe Remaster announced. Doctor, is that the shorthand for that game?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Doctor,
Dur.
I did have quite a few people ask me this week, are you excited about Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster? And I was like, no.
You never played it?
No.
Oh.
So here's the thing.
Well.
My very first Xbox 360 game was Dead Rising. Problem was I didn't have a smart any HD TV. I was playing it on a TV. It was about this big, which meant that I couldn't play it. So the first and only game I owned, I could just run around the mall. And so I'm excited to be able to play Dead Rising and be able to read the text personally.
Yeah. That sounds like a huge win for you.
I know.
Yeah.
I might get to actually play it this
I
time.
actually think I did play the first couple hours of Dead Rising. I think. So yeah,
I personally never had an Xbox 360, so I had to wait until Dead Rising 2 in order to be able to play it.
So what you're saying is you're excited for Doctor.
I am. I mean, I already played the first one when they released it on PC. It's like how long it's been? It's been a bit, you know. But I had to wait until Dead Rising 2 because that came first on PC. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good game, and let's hope that they are as faithful as they can while improving the gameplay because it's dated. The gameplay is dated on the first game. You try to drag NPCs, with you, and they're just like, I can't get over there because there's like a single object in front of me. So
I'm like reading the news on it, and it says they announced Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, and then the next two words say a remake.
Ooh.
Which is it?
Yeah.
Is it a remaster or is it a remake?
it's a remaster that looks like a remake. And
but it's
in a
still one or
way,
the
it's a
other.
remake because
Yeah,
it's a new engine.
It is a new engine,
It is a new engine.
so it's not a remaster.
But they treat it as a remaster just because, the cutscenes are pretty much the same in some ways. It's on the fence.
So it's a remaster make.
It's a remake-aster.
Remakester. All
yeah.
right. Well, it's coming out on September 19, 2024. So if you give a shit about Doctor, make sure you pre-order. I don't know if they're doing pre-orders. I don't. Why do people pre-order anymore? You don't need to. You don't need to. Valve puts a stop to Team Fortress 2's bots after fan pressure sees Valve step in with a bot demolishing ban wave. Weren't a bunch of people getting banned that weren't supposed to be getting banned for this, though?
That's been happening.
Like they were getting banned because of
for
like
years.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole time, if I recall.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
tough.
people who barely touched the game and got banned somehow, and they didn't even get hacked. But look, it's interesting because it took them so many years to actually do something about it, and it took a lot of pressure from fans to actually, for them to act, and they did. I mean, can't take anything from them. They actually did it, and it's a free game. So a lot more hackers in a free game than a paid game, naturally. So I mean, that's off to them.
Yeah. They do some good stuff here and there.
Yeah.
They run the industry. They just don't release third versions of games.
At all.
Ever. Literally ever. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, claws its way back to a mostly positive rating on Steam. Did people hate it at first? I'm not familiar because I played Elden Ring for literally 6 minutes and decided it's not for me.
I'm not an Elden Ring player.
So the problem with the new DLC for some people who reviewed it is it's too hard. And
Yeah.
Elden Ring is more approachable than, many other Souls games and Souls-like games. So I think that people got hit with, a surprise there. Like they weren't expecting something so hard, and they've reacted like that. And there was like a whole ass drama over it. It's interesting, I mean, the game is meant to be hard. It's a Souls-like. I mean, I don't know
That
what people were expecting.
like the one thing that I can say about any Souls like or any of them like that is that people go into this expecting easy, and uh, I think that is a misnomer in this case, where for a lot of people.
Well, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna try it. I ain't playing that shit.
No.
So
Oh, we know.
Sorry it was hard for you guys. I'm so sorry that your hard game was
The
hard.
the hard game that's designed to be hard was
Yeah.
hard.
I don't need to be the best at gaming. I like a good story mode. I like a good story mode.
Yeah.
I come from the cozy side. I don't even need a story sometimes. Just give me a farm.
Yeah, that's
Me,
kind of
it's
my
balanced.
wife. She's that type of gamer. She
I
never
like a
was gamer, but-
challenge. I like a challenge. I like a good story. Sometimes I like a balance. Sometimes I like a challenge,
Yeah.
And sometimes I want a casual thing, Sometimes you just,
Pedro, did you play the Alan Wake DLC? Did you play Night Springs?
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh man,
It's on
so
my
good.
bucket list. It's on my
It's
bucket
so
list.
good.
It's on my bucket
It's
list.
short, but they're very good, and they all are good regardless of whether you've played other Remedy games. But like, if you've played Control and Quantum Break, they will mean a lot more to you. And
Yeah.
it was so good, so good. I just have to say that. And on that note, David Harewood, who plays Mr. Door in Alan Wake, he's going to be an acolyte on Disney Plus. Nobody knows exactly who he's playing right now, but I think he's going to play Darth Tenebris. That's what I think. Not that we're getting into much.
Tenebris.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
because have you
See,
you've been watching?
this is my side of things. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
So you've been watching Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I love it. I don't hate it. I can't say I love it. The last
I
couple
love
episodes,
certain aspects.
right? And the last couple episodes have been very good.
Yes.
So the planet that they're on now, that they said was unknown, which is a very weird thing for Star Wars to say. Like, the going theory is that it is Baldemnik, which is the planet that Tenebris and Plagueis were on in the Legends book Darth Plagueis.
So if that's the case, are we getting a new? Is Darth Teeth
Venomous.
Jason from Good Place? Is he Plagueis?
No,
in
he's probably venomous, actually. Unless they're like completely fucking with their own. It's not canon at this point, but Plagueis
Right.
is a moon and
Right.
Tenebris is a Bith. So I don't know. I mean, he's claiming he's a lot older than he is too. He looks, so who knows? I mean, we don't really know at this point. And quite frankly, Disney doesn't give a shit about Legends. They like to pull a few things here and there. So maybe he is, but to me, the timeline doesn't really fit either because it's like over 100 years prior to that.
Yeah, but if he keeps himself alive and he's a lot older than he seems, then at that point that throws that whole concept out the window,
Yeah,
and he
maybe.
can still be the guy who trains Sheev.
Yeah, maybe. And the timeline doesn't matter from Legends because they can do whatever they want. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's messy enough. Like his Sith lore right now is messy enough that he could be anything. And so who knows? Pedro probably hasn't even watched it because he's a little bitch.
Not yet.
You should watch
I'm
Acolyte.
not as big of a Star Wars fan as
You should watch Acolyte, but don't go in expecting the best. It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
Oh,
It is. It has some really good action scenes in certain episodes. I like where they're going with this, like clearly like Force dyad bullshit.
Yeah.
That they're doing,
Oh,
trying to
But boy,
tie
does-
in all these
does
different eras.
Some of it just feels like Star Wars cosplay, though.
sometimes.
The fucking
I would
But
go in
that's
completely
always-
blind. I know nothing about it.
the Jedi that was like force meditating for years. I mean, that guy looked like. I mean, couldn't they just find a slightly older actor? Because it just looked like a kid with a fake beard on. And then this week, what's her name? Master Vernestra's Padawan. Like, what the fuck? I get it. Like,
Yeah.
there's tons of shows, and not everybody's acting skills are up to par. But like, what was that?
I think it's the difference between TV budget and actors versus movie and cinematic.
I don't know, man. Did
budget
you watched
actors.
Andor, right? And I
Yeah.
keep going back to this, and I realize they
you're
are
right.
vastly
You're right.
different properties. But there was not one weak element to Andor.
No.
Nothing.
No, Andor is definitely top of the list.
Unless you think that it's too slow. Like, I can see how some people would think the pacing is bad, but that's just because it's meant to be slow. It's meant to be
But
very
Rogue
slow.
One was one of my favorites,
Yeah.
honestly.
And if you watch Rogue One now after Andor, it feels like it's moving way too fast. Like, you don't get nearly as much exposition and character development as you got from Andor. But
That's the problem with having movies versus a long form TV
I
show.
know. I have an Andor tattoo right here. See? There's
Ooh.
a giant interpretation.
I don't have Andor, but I got my Rebel.
Oh, yeah, I have that too right there. So, see,
I got it in
fucking
my butt cheek, but I cannot
Pedro's
show
like,
that.
you fucking nerds.
No, I got it in my butt cheek. I just can't show it.
Why can't you show it? This isn't TV.
This
Uh,
is a
your ass,
podcast.
Pedro.
It's not like anyone's watching this anyway.
Yeah,
I'm very
there's less than
shy
100 people
somehow.
watching this
I'm
live
very
right
shy.
now. Pedro,
I'm very shy
you're
about.
supposed to be like, I don't want us to get banned from YouTube when we post this video later. Give us a real excuse.
okay,
all right.
Maybe on OnlyFans. I will.
43 minutes. We are going into our first segment. This week's fantastic
Already?
fucking fan art. 1 second, I'll pull it up.
Fart. Fantastic fucking fan art. Brought to you by Mike J's Bidets. A clean ass is a happy ass.
I don't know if you were talking there. I was playing a bumper over that. But this week's fantastic fucking fan art is brought to you by Doom Rotten on Twitter. Is a really beautiful piece of art that is brain damage postal dude. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I don't know
Oh,
if you're.
man.
Yeah, it's fucking dope. He's got some thick legs, but that is a good piece of art. I like it. I like it a lot.
I mean, he doesn't skip leg day, so
No, yeah, the dude always he's basically a CrossFitter. He's just always squatting and doing all kinds of crazy shit. As you know, if you want your piece of art to be showcased on the I Regret Nothing podcast, make sure you post it on Twitter. Yes, the cesspool pit that is Twitter. I refuse to call it X. So Twitter. Make sure you use the hashtag RWSArt, and I would also advise you tag RWS Studios in your post so we see it, and maybe, just maybe, your art will be on one of the future episodes of the I Regret Nothing podcast. What were you saying as I was playing the bumper there, Arthur?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, sorry.
I'm brain dead.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way we do this, the sounds play for everybody else, but not for us locally. So.
Yeah, totally fair.
Yeah. Sega calls Crazy Taxi Reboot a massively multiplayer driving game.
I'm excited for this one.
Does that
I'm
mean there's
disappointed.
going to be like 64 players allowed?
I honestly, I can see this being like a battle royale situation, but instead of it being, shooting at each other, it's sniping each other's taxi fares.
look, I like the concept of that. It's just, it's just one of those things where a lot of people are used to the single player experience, and it's not only that, it's also the fact that what happens when the servers go down. That's always my problem with online only games, but we still don't have a confirmation if it's going to be online only or not. We just have, it's going to be multiplayer, and we don't know if there will be a single player version. It's all I want, pun intended.
You just want the single player version?
I mean, I'm fine with multiplayer as long as they offer the option to play single player, just for the sole fact that I know how AAA games just go to shit once the servers go down. You pay $60 or more for a game, the servers shut down, and you're like,
I don't play.
how can I fucking play the game?
I don't really play multiplayer games anymore, but I did for a really long time. Do they still offer bots for single player
Sometimes.
experience?
Or
Depends on the
sometimes,
game.
but like you have situations like the Crew, for example, where they're like, this is a online only game, and Ubisoft, being Ubisoft, they're like, you know what? We can't afford the servers, and we certainly cannot afford to give you bots to play the single player portion
I mean,
of
to
the
be
game. So you
fair,
have
we
no,
took down the Postal 2 Share the Pain servers as well, and we get asked all the time to put them back up. So,
but the big difference is it's online only experience
Right,
with
right,
single
right.
player. We'd still offer
think
a
of-
single player.
I think
What
of
people do is
Fortnite.
yeah,
I think of Fortnite, what they'll do, like especially like early in the day or something when there's not as many people on, they'll drop just a bunch of bots to fill that particular game or match or whatever. So like I've played one where I'm like, I don't think I've met a single actual human in this entire match, and I'm glad because that got me a victory royale.
yeah. I mean, you still have to connect to servers though, and that's where the problem lies. Is you want to play your childhood game years from now. Like for those who are playing these games right now, they're having fun right now. But in years from now, you won't be able to play those games. Something that happened recently, I think it's one of the topics. You even have Xbox. Xbox shut down for quite a minute, and people couldn't access their single player games. That is a fucking problem. Okay, if we continue relying on online only services, gaming is going to be tragic.
I mean, it kind of is all there right now, like everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, with
it's-
Steam, you have offline modes.
yeah,
and
but
they
don't you have to set that? Like, if Steam went down, you wouldn't have been able to turn your online mode or your offline mode on.
The difference is they said that officially, if Steam were to shut down for some reason, they would offer infrastructure to download the games without
Well,
the profiles, without all that
They
stuff.
also said recently that if you die, nobody's entitled to your library, which
Of course.
I mean, I don't even understand how that's actually possible. Like, if I put in my trust, my Steam library, and my sister-in-law took over our trust, like I died, and she contacted Valve with a legal document that said, look, Mike J's Steam library is mine. Would they really say no?
They
They'd
can't
be like,
do
oh, no,
shit.
he's dead. Those games go into the ether.
No, like nothing stops me from telling my brother and tell him, look, here's my email, here's my password. If I die, this is yours. What can Valve do about it? They can't do shit. So, that's stupid. They're not going to do anything about it. Of course, if, you go to the Steam forums and admit it, they can take action. But of course, you're not going to admit it,
I mean, the whole question of DRM free has been, I mean, I've been in this industry for a hot minute, and I can say that since long before I was in it, people were talking about exactly this, and it really hasn't changed too much. If anything, it's just gotten worse. So, and no matter if we talk about it or not, it unfortunately it is what it is on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, our games are
I
on
do
GOG.
like websites like Itch.io, where it's very clear that you can put a DRM free, things can be offline, the whole 9 yards. You're not tying it directly to Steam or Xbox or whatever. So if their servers go down, you're not screwed. But the problem really comes down to a lot of people look at Itch.io almost as a lower class place to put your games, and I think some of the best stuff comes out of Itch.io, honestly.
Yeah. Like lots of passion from indie developers
Like Postal
on
Jams.
display
And
right
Postal
there.
Jams.
And Postal Jams.
Yeah,
Which,
Postal
by the way,
Jams, yeah.
before we continue, before I forget, there's still 1 month left. For those who still want to join the Postal Jam and you feel like you can, do it in 1 month, just join it, Still 1 month left, and then submit your entry.
Yeah, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Cool. We just knocked off 2 of those topics in
Boom.
in one talk. Metal Gear Solid series producer calls it his dream to work with Kojima again. Is he working on a new Metal Gear game, or is he working on Death Stranding 2, or is he working on?
So Metal Gear right now is in the hands of a company that's working with Konami, and they seem to be doing a great job so far. I mean, from what I've seen with Metal Gear Delta, it's so far a great job. And this is coming from me, the guy who keeps saying that MGS3 is my favorite game of all time. And unfortunately, Hideo isn't there, because some people just move on, Some people keep saying, oh, I wish Steve Wick was still at Run with Caesars. Some people just move on. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And, but for people who had doubts about, the relationship between Konami and Hideo Kojima, I mean, for the director of these remakes to say that it's a dream to work with Kojima again, it would be a dream, it would be. I mean, that's very telling of the passion that this director has, because he used to work at Konami for a long time. He worked with Kojima, and he would like to do it again. And Konami has been, very vocal about the negatives of their latest releases. And that goes to show that they are actually trying to be a good company for a change, which you don't see from AAA companies these days. So I'm willing to give them a chance. Let's see how this goes with these new re-releases. And I have faith, I have faith in the Metal Gear remake.
All right, well, I know you jerk off about it all the time. I just want Death Stranding too.
I'm insufferable.
I want to play a walking simulator, okay? I enjoyed Death Stranding.
Well, you got that. I mean, it's going to be with Kojima. It's going to be great.
The only game I'm sort of looking forward to right now that's coming out anytime soon, and I don't know how excited I am because some of the previous stuff I watched was boring, was Outlaws. The Star Wars, the Ubisoft Star Wars game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like a year ago, it looked really cool. I don't know if it looks so cool anymore.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm going to play it. I mean,
Star Wars Hunters was a letdown. I don't know if you tried that one.
I did not.
Oof. That it's Overwatch, but like early Overwatch. It feels so much like a cash grab. And I tried the mobile version, I tried the Switch version, I tried both because they're different. But I couldn't do it. It was literally just Overwatch with skins basically, and
yeah,
that was it.
I actually quit the latest the big Star Wars game, the one with Gay Jesus from Shameless. What's the series called? Jedi Survivor. I didn't. I liked the first game, and then the second one, it just got kind of old. I don't know. The gameplay style got kind of old to me.
I hear it's great for lore.
My problem is with Ubisoft.
Because the name of the planet is Tanalore.
I cannot trust Ubisoft at all. After every shit that they've been pulling, I'm not optimistic.
Another good Watch Dogs game.
Okay, yeah,
We'll see.
I could dig that.
Yeah, but the last
you liked
one,
Legion.
I didn't love it, and I got pretty far, but then I wanted to switch to playing it on my PlayStation, and you can't transfer your saves, even though they have Uconnect or whatever it's fucking called on the console and the PC. The saves are not transferable, and I was like, I am not starting that game over again. But I did like the environment,
Speaking of Ubisoft, I just like Assassin's Creed. I want to feel the same way that I felt about an Assassin's Creed game the day that I played Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah. The newer ones I tried recently, I hadn't played one in a while. They are not the same game.
No. And in fact, my wife loves like Odyssey and Origin and all that. She didn't like Valhalla because they changed too much of it at that point.
That's
So
that's the one I
Yeah.
tried. That's the one I tried. And I mean, I probably played for 2-3 hours, and I was like, I don't like this at all.
yes, she did too. She did too. And this is someone who 100% at Origins and Odyssey and is just chomping at the bit for another one of those. And I think the one set in Japan might be in that style. So I'm excited to try that one. This new one.
I would say
Um,
Valhalla is when everything went to absolute shit. No, actually, no. It was Odyssey. Odyssey is when everything went to absolute shit.
Really?
And in my opinion, you know,
Well,
I
Odyssey was one of
I've
my
been playing ever
favorites.
since the first one, and the second one is
Oh.
my favorite. What was the other one? The one with Ezio, but it
Brotherhood?
was yes, Brotherhood. That was another one of my favorites. And you know, I was fine with Origins. You know, it was a big change in gameplay, but then with Odyssey, it was just not Assassin's Creed in my opinion. And then
See, and I
Valhalla,
think in my opinion, I think that was a good thing in a lot of ways because we had so many rough games after Brotherhood. Can you name any that are just as good as 2 or Brotherhood before Origins?
Black Flag.
Okay, fair. Black Flag. Okay, forgot about Black Flag.
Yeah, I
But
mean that's
all the other ones
also
after that, like I'm talking
yeah. I
about like
mean,
Rogue and Unity, like they were meh. There was nothing memorable about them. That
I
they
mean Rogue
felt like
was
I have to just put out another game, and just to make the story go a little further.
it did go stale, yeah. But I think they should have tried something with a new IP instead of completely bastardizing, you know, the name of Assassin's Creed, which, you know, it's still a big name, it's still a big IP, and still
Sure.
makes a lot of sales. I just think that sometimes, you know, it's kind of like some other game IPs. Sometimes you just have to make something new instead of bastardizing uh you know the name of the IP, which is what some people say about Postal 4. I mean, it is what it is. For somebody to say they're a Postal fan, it can be anything. It can be a Postal 1 fan who likes the more edgy nature of the game. Could be a Postal 2 fan that likes, you know, the more humor part of it.
or
Or
if you're
even a
only
Postal
into,
3
or if you're
fan.
only into Wokestal.
Or Vauxhall, which is
Yeah.
Postal 4.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that you can do with an IP and still keep the essence. But when you cannot do it anymore, you have to start thinking maybe we should try something new, you know?
Yeah, to be fair, I think that's what they were going for with Assassin's Creed is they wanted to try something new, and Origins and Odyssey did so well, and I think that Valhalla just fell a little flat because it was a lot of samesies. That's all it came down to.
Yeah.
Where I'm excited for this next one coming in Japan, just because it's something different. And I always like when something does get a refresh. So maybe I'm the weird one for
We're all weird.
that.
We're all
yeah,
weird
we're
here.
all
You know,
weird.
we're all gamers, we're all nerds, so
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
some people just want to play the same game over and over and over, and that's fine. They can
Yeah.
go back and play Postal 2.
That's what we tell people.
That's
you
very
want
true.
terrorists, go play Postal 2.
Yeah. And don't say that we hate you just because you hate Postal 4. We are
Listen,
not
there was
like
just
that.
a guy in the chat, and I kind of booted him for a minute because he was annoying me. Strawberry Milk. He kept saying we don't answer when people ask about updates. We give bullshit answers. The fuck is he talking about? I
Look,
think we're
when-
more transparent about our updates than anybody.
As the person who makes those bullshit answers, like, we can either give you a date that we cannot fulfill, or we can tell you that, you know, it's gonna be done when it's done, and it's gonna be, you know, a lot better than
Yeah,
if
and we've discussed ad nauseum why we are idiots that make open world games, and we're way too small to be doing that because it's a fucking nightmare. Everything breaks everything. For the love of God.
And we don't do crunch culture. We don't do crunch here.
No.
We we do things at a pace that is respectful to everybody's time, and at the same time we try to respond to your criticism and to your needs, because we are aware that Postal 4 is not a perfect game. No game is, but Postal 4 has its issues, and we are very aware of that. No matter how many fucking stupid ass narratives.
It's a woke cash grab asset flip. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, some
Everything
people
is
have
now,
their
bro.
narratives, but at the end of the day, we are aware that we can do better, and that's what we've been doing every
If it was a
single day.
cash grab, we would have not made that game.
Yeah,
would've
and we
done
would not
something
be
else.
working on it still.
And we would not be continuing to work on it. We would be trying to turn a profit.
And every single new feature that we're adding, like the new voiceovers that we did for the Postal, each of them would be $5. We don't do that shit. So people can say that it's a cash grab, it's an asset flip, which, by the way, a lot of assets are being reworked. So it is what it is. Look, if you guys want to, talk shit about Postal 4, that's fine. Just make sense when you talk shit about Postal 4, okay?
Or don't.
Here's the
I mean,
thing,
You don't
I
have
Or
to.
don't. I mean, we don't really care that much, as long as you allow us to continue doing this and actually respond to people who bought the game and want a better product.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
See, I look at this a little bit as an outsider looking in at the whole industry. I see everyone always says that everything is an asset flip. Pokemon is an asset flip at this point, and it's like, okay, but like you do realize that it's a lot easier for them to have a starting point if they are flipping assets. They're assets they made.
Yeah.
And
what
then,
about every NHL, MLB, NBA game?
Oh,
Those
yeah,
are
exactly.
actual asset flips.
100%. But then on top of it, everyone talks woke and all of that, and like the times they are changing, kind of thing. They do try to, everyone always tries to say, oh, it's these people or these people, but in all reality, mindsets have changed. We're no longer in the old school 2003, 2006, back when I was in high school cringe culture.
Right. It's like if some like Greatest Generation old guy was like, why do we not have minstrel shows anymore? And it's like, well, because times changed, bud.
Yeah.
It's not. We don't do that. Like, come on.
And we don't change the landscape. Consumers change the landscape.
Yeah.
Don't say
That
that to
doesn't
the
mean
developers.
that
change the
doesn't mean we
landscape.
won't do some stuff against the grain that's fucked up.
Yeah,
we
I mean,
definitely do plenty of fucked up things. Like if you didn't play Postal 4 and you just think that it's woke and there's nothing even remotely mildly racist in it, you didn't play the game. It still shits on plenty of people. Okay, it's just different. It's a different game. Okay, like.
Actually, I like this comment here by Keat Guy. Funny how Xbox banned you guys, meanwhile Nintendo didn't. I find that funny.
Yeah, we laugh about it every day.
If it was feasible to release Postal 4 on Nintendo Switch, which is not, unfortunately, we would have done it.
Be done, but it would cost this insane amount of money to make it look like actual trash, and it might not ever actually work. So it would just be a ton of money. And the few people that I know that do Switch porting basically told me, don't even try. So maybe Switch 2, maybe when Switch 2 comes out, there'll be a possibility that whatever we've done will be portable, I mean, it's possible, but we don't want to even remotely commit to that because not only do we not know what a Switch 2 is, we don't know anything. So
even PS4 had issues, so that's very telling of what a little Switch
and that's a better
can
console than a Switch.
Yeah,
so,
it's very telling.
We are way over time right now. We didn't even get to the cool comment, bro, but I want to showcase it real quick just so everybody can see it. So real fast, here is this week's cool comment, bro.
Cool comment, bro.
This week's cool comment, bro, is by Mad Uncle Crispy on Twitter. He wanted to basically state that he's very proud to announce that he is the proud owner of every level 5 and foil Steam badge for the Postal series. As far as I'm aware, I'm the first to do this. Keep up the amazing work, you beautiful mad bastards. Thanks, Mad Uncle Crispy. Congratulations on picking up all those since Brain Damage released all their stuff. As always, if you want to be part of this segment, make sure you leave cool comments all over the place. You can put them on Steam, you can put them on Twitter, you can put them on YouTube, you can put them on TikTok, any one of our socials. I want to thank Arthur Collins for coming on the podcast very last minute. Thanks for being available. It was a pleasure.
Very good insights
Yes,
and
yes.
very good addition to the podcast.
Yes, slightly
Appreciate
different
it.
take from someone who actually knows his shit versus just a few of us running with scissors idiots that don't know shit about anything. And thanks, Pedro, for being around. Obviously, it's getting late over there. And go fuck yourself, Matt, and go fuck yourself, Karl, for not being here. Thanks. We'll see you guys hopefully in a couple weeks, but the way this has been going, it'll be probably a month. But thanks, guys. See you later.
We'll never get to 100.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Thanks for having me.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.